Generative AI is changing just about everything, and it's happening fast. The whole world is racing to keep up. So we've boiled down the massive 2025 Global Skills Report from Coursera into this quick guide. We're going to show you exactly how this AI revolution is reshaping work, and more importantly, what it means for you. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, let's start with a number. 195%. That's how much enrollments in generative AI courses have grown year over year. I mean, this isn't just a small trend. It's a complete tidal wave of demand for a skill that, let's be honest, barely existed a few years ago.
And that wave has already reached a pretty staggering scale. We're talking over 8 million enrollments in Gen AI courses just on Coursera alone. That's a huge global community of people all learning the new language of the future, all at the same time.
To really put that in perspective, think about it like this. Right now, in 2025, about 12 people are enrolling in a Gen AI course every single minute. Just a couple of years ago, in 2023, that number was only 1 per minute. The speed of this thing is just wild. So what we're all witnessing is basically a global gold rush for AI skills. People and companies everywhere get it. This is the new frontier, and everyone is scrambling to stake their claim. But like any gold rush, all of this rapid, chaotic change creates a pretty serious challenge. So while this AI boom is incredibly exciting, it's also kicking off what you could call a global skills emergency. The ground is just shifting so fast under our feet that a lot of the skills many of us have are quickly becoming outdated. It's creating this huge gap between the jobs that exist today and a workforce that's actually ready to do them. In fact, the World Economic Forum predicts that a whopping 59% of the entire global workforce is going to need retraining by 2030. Think about that. That's more than 1 out of every 2 workers on the planet, needing to learn fundamentally new skills just to stay relevant. And look, this isn't just some abstract number in a report. You hear it from the people on the front lines. As Baz Putz from Siemens says, it's simple. If we don't have people with the right skills, then we can't grow our business. For companies, this is a fundamental crisis. The stakes really couldn't be higher. And this emergency gets even more complicated because there's another critical issue we have to talk about. As we're building this new AI-powered future, we're running a huge risk of leaving a massive part of the population behind. There's a persistent and frankly a very worrying gender gap in who is learning these crucial new skills. Just look at this slide. The contrast is pretty stark. Women make up almost half of all online learners in general, which is fantastic. But when you zoom in on just Gen AI courses, that number drops off a cliff, down to only a third. And this is so important, because if the people building and using AI don't reflect the diversity of the world, then the AI itself won't either. We can't afford to ignore that risk. Okay, so we've got this massive skills emergency. How is the world adapting? Well, a whole new set of rules and a new toolkit are starting to emerge to help everyone navigate this big transformation. And it all starts with how we get hired in the first place. So the first new rule of work is a major shift called skills-based hiring. Basically, instead of focusing only on your degree or where you used to work, employers are now zeroing in on what you can actually do, the specific verified skills that you can prove you have right now. And this isn't just some small niche idea. A stunning 97% of employers have either already adopted skills-based hiring or are actively exploring it. This is a fundamental rewiring of the entire job market. It's no longer just about where you learned, it's about what you learned, and that's a real game changer. So, how do you actually prove you have these in-demand skills? Well, that brings us to the rise of micro-credentials, like professional certificates. They're the perfect tool for this new skills-based economy. They're fast, they're flexible, and they are laser-focused on job-ready skills. Students love them, and employers value them so much that 90% are willing to pay more for people who have them. All right, so with these new rules and new tools in place, who's actually navigating this new world successfully? The report maps out the new global leaders, the countries that are really staying ahead of the curve when it comes to skills.
And here's the leaderboard. It's really dominated by these highly innovative economies. Switzerland is sitting at the top spot, followed by the Netherlands, Sweden, Singapore, and Finland. What these cutting-edge countries all have in common is a really high level of proficiency across the board in business, tech, and data science. The report also introduces a brand new metric called the AI Maturity Index. It's a really cool way of measuring which countries aren't just learning about AI, but are best positioned to actually innovate with it. And the frontrunners here, Singapore, Switzerland, and the United States, they have strong foundations in both AI research and its real-world application.
So we've looked at the global trends, we've looked at the big problems and the emerging solutions. But what does this all actually mean for your career? Let's bring it all back to the thing that matters most here, your personal skill set.
So here's the path forward, and we can break it down into 3 pretty simple steps. First, the problem. The AI revolution is creating a massive, urgent skills gap. Second, the solution. The world of work is pivoting hard to a new model based on provable skills. And that leads to the third step, which is the big takeaway for you. Continuous, agile learning isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's the single most essential strategy for your career's survival and its growth.
So we'll leave you with this one last thought. Remember that number? 12 people are learning a new AI skill every minute of every day. The entire world's skill set is literally being upgraded in real time. The only question left is, are you keeping pace?